And the 240 is the difference between 1,000 and the 750 over the years 2023 to 2026. They're modelling, and again, I want to reiterate, look, we don't have an issue with independent regulation. The inputs that they use for the modelling process and the data that they use and where that data is from, and is that data considering COVID, considering resilience, that's a question that we have. So over 20...
Sorry, is this what you mean by, in point 16, we need a reset in capital letters?
That's what I mean by we need a reset. And we're just taking two cost lines. If I just take that one cost line, so security staff, their model is saying for 2023 to 2026, the Dublin Airport should have 750 staff at security. That doesn't take into account COVID, and if anything like that happened again and you didn't have staff at security because they got COVID, as you had in every business and every organisation around the country. It doesn't take into account C3 scanners, which are a totally different piece of technology, and it doesn't take into account resilience. Just having a buffer so that, even forget about COVID, just the things that happen in big organisations and just happen in life, that we have that resilience built in. So our model says we need 1,000. They say that our model is you need 750, and it leaves out a load of the things that have happened in the past 2 years. That's what we mean by the difference.
Okay, that's good. So you need 1,000. So you're going to have to deliver 1,000 either way, I imagine.
Yeah.
So you have to get that fund. So something else is going to suffer.
So then you're into running the business, the choices that you make, and do we want to compromise security? Absolutely not. So do we want to plough on and have 1,000 people so that we have over 90% going through in 20 minutes or less? Yeah, that's what we want. Do we want to compromise standards elsewhere because we're pulling staff from other parts of the operation into security? No, we don't want to do that. So we want to have the right level of security. We want the resilience around that. We want to have the right level of standards across the airport. And what we're saying in our statement is we need to have a reset in how the regulatory price is set, because the inputs used in their modelling don't reflect the reality of the past 2 years and the level of service that this committee, that the Taoiseach, that everybody wants in the coming years.
The figures that are used, we're talking, I think the average 759, is that, like, what's the difference in figures in terms of per flight or whatever, or per passenger that you're talking about between what you need to deliver what you need and what has been agreed by CAR?
So the difference isn't related to look, yes, it will be related to the number of flights, the number of people that will go through it. They won't have anything included for resilience. So just in terms of if you have absenteeism, if you have issues with retention.
So they're not even including that.
So they're not including anything in what we would now consider, I would call this the new reality of flying. And look, every airport, every country, every airline is saying resilience is going to be a challenge. So there needs to be an increase put in for resilience. There needs to be an increase put in for the extra staff that we know we need to operate the C3 scanners that we need, and the growth that we want to have in the number of flights. So that's the difference between the two numbers.
So you having to put in plans now for this yourselves now?
Look, the immediate focus is the summer. So we want to get through the summer, and we want to have no issues in the summer. Operating standards to be where we expect them to be, and the public want them to be, and that security takes the 20 minutes. It doesn't take more, and that's what we'd like to happen. So we'll get through the summer first, and we'll do what we need to do, and we still have more things to do. So that's where our immediate focus is. That's where my number one priority is making sure that Dublin Airport is the right experience for customers going through this summer.
Brilliant.